What's up guys, Eric from Sonic. Today I'm here with the Lexus NX without factory navigation. I'm going to be installing our Sonic S Connect system to allow Apple CarPlay and Android Auto using the factory controls and the factory screen. So I'm going to teach you how to do the installation and do a really quick demonstration on it. It's not going to be that thorough because I don't have the other camera person with me. It's just going to be me. And at the same time, prior warning, the video might be a little bit shaky. I really apologize for that, but I'm going to try my best to keep it as steady as possible, okay? Alright, well, let's not waste any time and get started. Alright, to take apart the panels to get to our necessary connectors, we are going to have to take this out and then remove this. And then on the other side, driver's side as well, we're gonna have to take some pieces around the cluster, and after we do that, it's gonna release the area necessary to remove this. And of course, before we remove this, we have to remove this bottom area as well. So I'm gonna go through all that for you. Let's start off by removing this piece. So grabbing a panel removal tool, something like this. Let's put it in the cracks over here. And after you remove a few clips like that, just use your finger and just pry it out. Just leave it out like this. And after you remove that, the next step is to remove this piece here. It's very easy. Go ahead and grab a hold of it from here and just pull it out. Okay, I'm going to use two hands for this. Alright, gotta give a little bit of pressure, and this is how it looks. I'm going to put this aside, and then let's go to the other side. On the driver's side here, we are also going to start off by removing this. Same process as the passenger side. Just use a panel removal tool. Just pry it out. And then just pull it out like this. And afterwards, we're going to remove this assembly. And you can just pull this out as well. And then there's going to be one connector behind it. Let's disconnect it. Alright, and then next, we're going to remove this Phillips screw here. And there's gonna be a few more Phillips screws that we're gonna remove. Okay, so that is out. And then go down here, and there's going to be one here. Okay, and there's another one right there. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those two Phillips screws. Alright, now we are going to push down on this whole panel piece. And just loosen this area up a little bit. And just work your way down here. Alright. Okay. And then before we could remove all that fully, we do have to remove this side panel piece here. Okay. You can either just use a panel removal tool, or you can just stick your finger here to pry it out, like I just did right now. I'm going to remove this completely. Okay, there it is. And then now we're going to remove the panel right under the start button. Just like that. So that area is done. Now let's work on the middle side. Go ahead and raise your armrest. And then we're also going to remove this panel here on the right. And then let's remove the shift knob, press down on the shift boot, turn it counterclockwise. Alright, and then let's go ahead and remove this. And then we are also going to remove this piece over here, this plastic piece. Okay, and then after we remove this, let's go ahead and remove this whole assembly here. Let's go ahead and pull it up like that. Alright, and then next, let's go ahead and remove this silver trim piece that surrounds all this. It's going to come out as one piece. Okay, when you're pulling it, make sure you follow the side where the clips is going. If it's going this way, you're going to pull out this way, okay? So, just be very careful. And then, when you're getting it out as well, make sure you don't scratch anything. I'm going to be using two hands for this. Alright, so I loosened it. How did I do it? I started off by working on this corner over here. If you can tell, there's a little clip piece here that's one inside here. So I started off by loosening this, okay, and then I went to the other side and I noticed there's a clip here where you have to push up, but there were some side pieces that was kind of holding it, so I kind of used my hands and kind of gently pried it out, and then used the up motion same time, And then slowly I worked my way up, removing small clips, and then I was able to loosen the whole entire assembly. Okay, let's go ahead and put this aside. All right, and then now we are going to remove this whole middle piece here. Just get a good hold of it, and we're just gonna pull it up, okay? All right, so all we had to do was just grab it and just give a good force, pull it upwards, you know, just dislodge like this, all the clips. And then there's gonna be a few connectors over here holding it. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect all the connectors, but just note, whenever you do this, make sure you remember, or you at least count how many connectors are there, just so you don't miss any when you're putting everything back together. Okay, so I'm gonna remove all the connectors, and so I could put this aside in a safe location. Alright, so actually we didn't disconnect the connectors, we just kept it on. This main connector harness is long enough, so we just kind of extended it out, so let it hang out over here. It's a good idea to wrap it if you like, to prevent any scratches. Alright, and the next step is to remove the two 10mm bolts that's holding the radio in place, which is that one and also that one right there. So I'm gonna use my handy tool here and remove these two. Alright, so before we take the radio out, let's go ahead and change the shift, press the shift lever and move it down, and make sure your car's side brake or e-brake is on, because if you don't and you move this, change this gear, your car will roll if you're sitting on some sort of an incline. Alright, so that's that. I'm gonna lay a thick piece of blanket and I'm going to pull that radio out. Alright, here's my thick piece of blanket. And before you pull the radio out, your climate control will probably want to come out first. So let's go ahead and just pull it out. And there's one connector that's holding it. Let's disconnect it. Okay, and then let's remove this radio. Alright, and we're just gonna set it right here for now. And next, let's remove the top monitor. All we have to do is remove these two bolts, that one and this one. Alright, so remove the two bolts, you just pull it back out. Be careful not to damage or scratch the front monitor. And there's going to be some connectors behind it. We're going to disconnect everything so that we could place the monitor aside. Okay, once again, this line is pretty long, so we're just going to keep this in place for now, because we don't want to remove this clip. So we just, for now, just disconnected these two connectors, because that's where our connector is going to be connected to. Okay. All right, and next step, let me remove and drop the glove box. All right, so to remove this glove compartment, we're gonna start off by first just opening the glove box like this, and then we are going to first dislodge this. Just push this tab in. So basically how it looks here, we wanna squeeze it, okay, and then pop this out. Okay, so I went ahead and just gave it a really good push and just popped it out like this. And after you do that, the back piece up here, just push it in. Push both sides in. While you're pushing it out, we are going to maneuver this out to remove this glove box. And once you have that out, all we have to do is just remove it from here. Just move it all the way down and it just pulls out very easily. Alright, so now we have access to the glove compartment. Next step, we just grab our interface and harness, it's connected all together, and mount it in the necessary area, and then reverse order everything, and we're done. So let me continue on. Let's start off by grabbing our harness. So the most distinguishable harness is going to be this one over here. It's just these just this cable here with mostly black wires, and then you'll find like a few red wires, and it's just gonna have two sets of black and red wire that's going to it. So this is gonna be for your top monitor, so let's put this aside. And other than that, you'll find a set of two other car connectors like this. So these are the ones that's going to be connected to the vehicle. Let's go to our radio, and from the top view, I can already locate to you which connector we'll be working on. It's gonna be this one and this one. So go ahead and grab on the tab and pull out. Never pull on the wire. Okay, just like that, and then just like that. And then on the corresponding sides, we are going to connect our two connectors to it. basically going to be daisy chained. So I'll start off with the one that's closest to me right here. So that is going to, the connector that went into the radio will now connect to our harness. Okay, so basically that's the connector that went into the radio before, and now it's connected to our harness. And the other side of our harness is a male one that connects to the radio. So it's being just daisy chained. I'm gonna do it for this second connector here. All right, so they're both connected, and now what I'm gonna do is all these wires that are connected to those two connectors, I'm going to route it from behind the radio to behind this glove box. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, so I have all the wires and harnesses routed. There's a lot of room back here. Okay, so it's behind this little steel beam that you see. We'll go to this area to the right side out there. So all your wires are going to be routed through there. And after you finish routing all these wires, grab this one, this connector here. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to go to the top monitor area. So let's go ahead and route that. We're going to go through this area, we're going to go straight up and to the monitor side. All right, so here it is. I successfully routed. How did I do it? I went through up there. Okay, you could actually kind of see where it routed. It's from behind here. I actually stuck my hand in here, right here, grabbed the connector and kind of pushed it up while I caught it with my other hand over here. All right, and then now I am going to route these video cable. It's the blue side that I want to route. Okay, there's both male and female 2 wires, and I'm going to route it the same channel I used to route that larger connector there. Alright, so I successfully routed these wires, and let me show you how these connect. So from the factory side, what was originally going into the radio will connect to our harness. Alright, like that. And then the other side, the male side, will connect to the monitor. And then our white connector here, the car side will connect to our connector, and then our connector will connect to the monitor, like that. All right, so let me go ahead and put the monitor back, and then also the radio back. Okay, so the monitor is mounted back, the radio is mounted back. I still did not screw in the bolts yet because I want to test everything and make sure everything's working. And next, let's go ahead and connect our interface. So here's our interface here. I'm going to start off by connecting these 2 video cables. You're going to have these video cables. These are the ones that got routed to the top monitor. One's going to be labeled in, the other one's going to be labeled out. The one that's labeled out, we're actually going to connect to the inside. Okay, like this. And the one that's labeled in is going to be connected on the outside. Just like that. And then we just need to do 2 more connections. One of them is the HDMI. Alright, make sure this is on here pretty good. And also, this is the most fragile area of this whole interface. If you give any pressure and this area breaks, it's gonna break the whole entire interface. So be very, very careful when you're mounting this, okay? You don't want to give any pressure to this HDMI area. Alright, and then let's grab our main harness here. This is the one that came from the radio, and we are going to connect this next to these video cables. Okay, just like that. Alright, and the dip switch settings, go ahead, don't touch it. We're going to pre-configure it before we send it over to you because we do have your car information. But just in case you knock any of these out or you actually touch it, I will leave your dip switch configuration setting in the instruction manual, so you could double check yourself, but initially you don't have to touch it. Okay, and then all the connections are completed on the interface side. Now let's do the connection on the CarPlay side. The CarPlay Android Auto box is the plastic box. I'm going to start off by connecting the mic, and the mic 3.5mm jack is going to go to the same side as where your USB is, okay? So your mic is to the USB side. And then let's go ahead and connect the HDMI. And then let's connect this this power source. This is coming for the top monitor. Alright. And then the next connector is these RCAs that's coming from the harness that got connected to the radio. Your version will most likely not have this yellow. If you do, just ignore this yellow. We're not going to use it. We're only going to be using these, the red and the white, the left and the right audio. Okay, so grab that, and then you'll have a corresponding harness that connects to this. And on the other side is going to be a 3.5 millimeter jack like this. And this is for your aux, which will connect on the HDMI side like this. And just in case if you have any ground loop noise issues, you may need to get an additional filter that will connect between this harness and this box. So if you need that, it's available on Amazon. It's less than $10, and I'll leave the link in this video and also on our website just in case you need the additional piece. Okay. All right, and then the last piece that we need is this USB extension cable. Okay, this USB extension cable, we'll just connect it over here with the USB female side on the other end. So we're done with all the connections. Go ahead and load it up and see how well it performs. Alright, so I went ahead and just put the climate control and also this middle area control back in place. And then let's fire it up to see how it works. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to go to aux. So go to media. And then let's go ahead and select our aux source. Okay, there it is. There's our AUX. And after you select it, go ahead and long press the menu button. Alright, and it's switched over to a screen that says system ready. Okay, so that's a good sign. The system ready. We went ahead and plugged in our standard lightning cable. Make sure you have a pretty high quality lightning cable that's capable of transferring data, or else the system will not work correctly. So here it is. I'm gonna plug it into my phone. Alright. Initially, you might have to unlock your phone and allow some notifications. Okay.
To put down the plate, and I still had my computer out with the baby on the boob, and it's just
podcast.
Like, and the phone's ringing. It's just crazy.
Alright, cool. So here it is. Looks like everything started up right away, and my sound was obviously working right now. Alright, so it looks like everything's working as it should. Once we confirmed all that, there's just one setting or two settings that you want to configure or just double check that it's correct on the CarPlay box. So one moment. Alright, to configure your CarPlay box, go ahead and go to the plastic box, go to the mic and the USB side, and on here you'll find this white connector here. And on this white connector, there's gonna be, if you look very carefully, it's like small buttons that you could push. One on the left, one on the right. Leave the one on the left alone, that's gonna reset the system. And the right side, go ahead and push that using like a paper clip or some sort of a pin. It's right there. Okay, hold it for 3 seconds. When you do, the screen's going to change like this. Okay, on this screen, make sure all your volume levels at 56. It's already there, so it's good. And then after that, go to the wheel button input. That is off. We have to turn that on. So click on that. All right. So leave it on. And then after you turn that on, just go ahead and get out of the menu. There's also a configuration that needs to be on the phone side, so let's go ahead and do it now. First, go to settings, and then go to general, and then go to accessibility, then find call audio routing. It's gonna be an automatic. You're gonna switch that to Bluetooth headset. Alright, that's it. So that will ensure that this CarPlay box is configured to use with this type of wheel configuration controller. Okay, well, everything looks like it's working. Next step, what we're gonna do, we're gonna find a good mounting place for these two interfaces. All right, so the good mounting location for your interface is actually up here. Okay, I didn't tape it down yet, but use some double-sided tape and just mount this up here. It's kind of hanging right now, but it won't be like that once it's mounted. And then this plastic box, go ahead and mount it straight in here. I suggest routing the HDMI cable and some of the wires from the back, just so you're not going to be giving any pressure to it. Slide in here, use some double-sided tape, mount it, and then mount this interface up here. And once again, just be very careful with the HDMI cables and the port for the HDMI cables. Do not crank it, bend it, or give any pressure to it. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the wires, mount these guys up, and then we're gonna reverse order the installation. That is going to complete our installation today. Unfortunately, there's not gonna be a demonstration video for this. You know what? I'll do a really quick demonstration now. So this wheel here works like this. You could, when you press it, of course it's gonna select whatever song or whatever input it is. Your long hold menu is going to switch between the native and this CarPlay screen or your Android Auto screen. And then audio is going to be for your Siri. Back button works as a back button. Okay. And then another cool addition on this new kit is steering wheel controls. So the steering wheel controls for your volume is gonna work. Okay, let me go ahead and turn on some music. Okay, so the steering wheel control on the volume is gonna work. Unfortunately, the change of the volume is not gonna show up on the screen, but it is working. And then also the seek button, next track, previous track, next track, previous track. Okay, so the seek buttons will work on this kit. And at the same time, when you pick up phone calls, you can pick up using this, you could hang up using this as well. This voice, unfortunately we can't use Siri with this, but you can use this with your factory as you have already been able to. Alright, so and then a quick demonstration video on this Android Auto. So here's the new Android Auto 10 home screen. So there's a few more options, and I'm using the scroll here to navigate through the different apps. So you can zoom in and out using the scroll. And if you want to use like apps such as Waze, you can as well.
Let's take I-5 north. In 500 feet, turn left on Paseo del Norte.
Alright, well that's it folks. That's our demonstration and installation video on this Lexus NX without navigation. New kit should be available by the time this video is out. If you have any questions, please drop a line below on our comment section, or you can also email us at info@bsonicusa.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page so that it kind of motivates us to keep making these cool videos and keep you guys updated to all the latest and the newest tech of Lexus, Toyota, and also Tesla. And we're also thinking about adding new line of products for other vehicles as well. So if you have any suggestions or idea, leave us a line below and we will go through all of them and reply accordingly. Thanks guys.